Hey friends, good morning. How are you? Some car therapy for today. When it comes to triggers, you're supposed to be triggered. It's like a positive thing. There's so many things in life that we're being told how to translate it, how to react to it. And we have to take that back because they're not correct. Being triggered is a negative thing. Challenges in life are negative. Expressing how you feel is bad. I don't know where any of these things came from. I can tell you they're certainly not true. And on an intellectual level, it doesn't make sense they're true. And it just, in reality and emotionally, it's not true. And then when you start testing it and challenging these things, because to challenge it feels like I couldn't possibly go against the grain, right? Swimming upstream, because that's what everybody's doing, and that's what we've been deeply, deeply trained. And this is where you see it, the power of deep, deep training, and that's what we're working on. Our inner world is our child self has been deeply, deeply trained after years and years of interacting with our parents and interacting with that environment and trying to discover who we are, finding ways to feel safe and secure despite being on our own and contending with some pretty heavy, emotional, stressful, difficult, challenging things as a kid. Trying to find ourselves, trying to come on our own. But that deep, deep, deep training, it's hard to go against. And then, day in and day out, here we are as adults, many years later, out of childhood, and still playing out those dynamics, still deeply believing those things. And so it will come down to these mini experiments where we challenge it. But so much of it is, this is what we're being told. And it goes right to triggering, A lot of people are talking to me, clients, people online that are reaching out to me, my boyfriend this, my girlfriend did that, we've been together for so many years and he's like this and she's like that. And it's like sad and it's unfair. It's like the world has been set up to not have positive relationships because nobody told you that you're supposed to be triggered by the other person. It's going to naturally happen. And the more of a fit you are, the more you'll trigger each other in order to help each other grow. Nobody taught us that. No one told us to expect that, and certainly no one gave us the tools how to address it. And that's what I'm doing over here. That's what the trigger method helps us do. That's what the background awareness and knowledge of who am I? I'm two. I'm not one. I'm this child self inside, but I'm also an adult self. And the conversations that I'm having with my good friend, my spouse or partner or a boss or colleague at work is happening on two levels. The adult selves are communicating, it's simple, it's basic, I need you to do this, you didn't do this, or we're locked into a certain thing and where I need you to get something. But the child self is in that conversation also. So it's like trying to deal with it only as an adult, but there's that child self level also. It's like, when was the last time you tried to have a conversation with a child, who was acting out or having a temper tantrum? You as the adult trying to talk to a child. And that's what so many of our conversations are like. And it's time to calm it all down. It's time to embrace, okay, there's a trigger, I'm getting triggered. It's time to look inside and not fear what's going on inside for me, to know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at two, I'm looking at child self. My child self is like this and this and this from childhood experiences. Okay, my child self has certain needs for validation, acceptance, love. My child self struggles with feeling, insecurities and fears of abandonment, whatever it is. Okay, that's what's inside me, not some horrible monster. Now, what I'm looking at, my interactions that are uncomfortable are there to help me. The uncomfortable emotions that come up as I'm interacting with people, that's putting me directly in touch with that child self. Okay, that's what's going on. And every conversation, argument, challenging interaction that I'm having with people regularly, there's a certain component between me and them, but there's a certain component that's within myself that I have to meditate on. It's time to challenge all that and really take back our relationships, to have really enjoyable relationships. And it's what makes life so worth living, makes life so full. When we're able to interact and work together with each other, so much can be accomplished. There's no such thing as a championship team in which the team members make room for each other, and really are there for each other and work together. And so to us in our lives, our ability to connect with people, be heard, hear other people, work together, be there for others, have others be there for us, makes life just so deep and worthwhile and worth living. So that's what we're here for. Just sometimes we need a reminder from time to time of why we're doing this work. Building a new relationship with our child self. But let's start. Embrace those triggers. They're normal. It's correct. It's right. And the closer you are to someone, the more you're going to be triggered. But it can go away. You can get to a point once you embrace it, once you embrace the emotions that come up from you in the moment you're triggered as being indicative and reflective of your child self. Once you embrace that, you can move past it. You can have a person that's been triggering the hell out of you for years, that you get to a point of interacting with them where you're not triggered at all, almost like completely emotionally detached, and you say, wow, this person is struggling, this is their issue, it's no longer become your issue. So let's keep going, let's keep growing, and use the comments, let me know what you think.